game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. This gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's face this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
free smoke.
Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much or how you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our block, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
When did winning not become the main thing? I always say keep the main thing, where, you know, winning is the only thing that truly matters.
You find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face. Do not be troubled. Brothers, what we do in life echoes in eternity.
I was on Twitter one day, and I'm so glad that this popped up in my head. Because, you know, I be on TikTok a lot, and they love to have all that. Matter of fact, that's not important. I was on Twitter a couple days ago, probably like a week or so ago. And I saw a tweet on there. It could have probably been longer than that, but that is not the purpose and point of the story. Anyways, I was on Twitter at some point in time in the past couple weeks. And I saw a quote or a tweet that said, if people can hate each other for absolutely no reason, then I choose to love people for absolutely no reason. That's why I always tell people I love them. And that quote was just, it's been running around in my brain, in my head for weeks now. And that is just such a, bro, that is such an enlightening quote, bro. I don't even know if that word do it justice, bro. That's a hell of a quote. Do you know, bro, I just imagine what somebody done been through to say something like that. Like, that's somebody who done figured life out, bro. Dead ass. Like, you know the shit you done had to go through mentally and physically, and the maturation you gotta get to say something like that, bro. Like, to me, that was crazy. I feel that, though. I'm like, yo, it's very few things that I see nowadays, because everybody recycle the same quotes. But man, when I saw that one, because I've never seen that quote said like that. I've never seen those words put together like that. And when I saw them tweet, or when I saw that tweet, if people can choose to hate each other for no reason, then I choose to love everybody, or choose to love people for absolutely no reason. That's why I tell everybody that I love them. Damn, that's crazy. That is. Just think about that. But I appreciate y'all for being here on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. I truly do appreciate the views, the likes, the subscriptions, the comments, all of that, man. We have grown tremendously over the last month and a couple weeks, and I couldn't have done that without you guys. So I appreciate y'all greatly. I really do. But man, that was a crazy quote. And then I saw another quote on TikTok. And this dude is famous, but I cannot remember his name because I don't actually watch his show. But I'm always seeing, he was on that Saturday football thing with Pat McAfee when they was picking the Alabama Georgia game. He picked Georgia. He was like, yo, I hope you woke up and somebody told you that they loved you today. And most importantly, I hope it was you. Man. Bro, what is going on? They putting me in a blender of emotions. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And that is very important, man. I do find it crazy that, not even crazy, I guess it's just human emotion at this point, or just human nature rather, that we chase things that aren't obtainable. That's the ego, I guess. We put ourselves in these positions where we stop loving and taking care of ourselves as much. It's very interesting, but I do hope that y'all woke up today and somebody at some point in time in the day told you that they loved you. If they didn't, I'm here to tell you today that I love you and I appreciate you. I really do. And I do hope that you, at the end of the day, told yourself that you loved yourself. Even if you're not where you want to be in life right now, keep going. Don't stop. I talk about that all the time. Don't become satisfied, bro. Reach, shoot for them goals. What Kanye say? Shoot for the stars, and if you fall, you land on the clouds. Keep going. Use the clouds as a trampoline to propel you to the next great thing, or to shoot, to try again. Like Skate Man says, get up and try again. I'm big on that. I'm real big on that. And especially this month, this is the time of the year where you see a lot of, more so than even Valentine's, around that time. I think this is really the time of the year of love and things like that. And I know how it is, man. I know how it is. It's a lot of people spending Christmases alone, going home from the family. You're going home to an empty apartment, probably going to be on the game all night. I get it. You're going to find that person, bro. I truly do believe. We do get into this situation at times, or in this mental space where we think, oh, we never gonna find love. If that's something that you want, bro, shoot for that like you shoot for your other goals, bro. You don't gotta think just because you didn't find the one this time. And I get it. You wanted this one person, you wanted her, him, and you didn't get him. And you don't think for the next couple months you could ever find anybody better. Keep going. Keep shooting for it. If you don't want to live a life alone, if you don't want to die alone, if you don't want to spend holidays alone, keep going. Everybody get rejected. It is tough. And I be saying shit like this, and I have to even understand it myself. Like, yo, this is not the best message to be sending when I be like, everybody get rejected. Everybody get hurt. But I'm not saying that in a condescending way. I'm saying that to say everybody who done found love. It's the rare breed that's found love one time, and that's what they've been with their entire life. But a lot of people have to go through trials and tribulations. A lot of people have to go through multiple tests and multiple people to get to the one they supposed to be with. As long as you're doing everything you supposed to do or possibly can to make it work when you find that situation, bro, don't worry. You got this. I believe in you. I got nothing but the utmost faith in you. All right? Keep going. If you shooting for a dream or something like that, listen, bro, you see me? This is organic growth. Organic growth. I woke up one day and said, yo, I'm not going to die with these dreams and these goals just sitting dormant inside of me, thinking to myself, man, I wish I had done this and that. Keep going. the mundane, boring, hard-ass jobs that you work right now that you hate, you might even like it a little bit. But come on, man. Shoot for a career. Shoot for, even if the career is out of nobody believe you can do it. I believe you can do it. Even if you done at that point in your life where you no longer in college, like you think you done missed out on a lot. No, bro, you haven't missed out on anything. Keep going. Oh, I don't know where to start. Figure it out. All right. And I'm not telling you figure it out right now. No. Figure it out. Lock in. All right. You know what I think is funny? A lot of dudes lock in after heartbreak. Y'all gotta lock in before that too, bro. Don't let a heartbreak just be the determining factor if you finna lock in or not, all right? But we got a lot to talk about. NFL Week 13 close was Monday Night Football. And we had the Jacksonville Jaguars at home taking on the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow. And I would just like to point out, I done always said Joe Burrow is a franchise quarterback, but I always done said I don't truly know how great Joe Burrow is compared to the other great counterparts, for the simple reason that is one of the best supporting casts I done ever seen. I'm not telling you it's the greatest of all time, but Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, bro, that talent level between those four players is unreal. The real shame is that Zach Taylor keep being masqueraded around as like some competent head coach. I will give him credit though for Monday Night Football. He coached his ass off on Monday Night Football. I think Cincinnati probably win that game in regulation if Jake Browning don't make them two dumbass false starts. But Jake Browning played a great game. And it's amazing what a quarterback can do when the head coach don't handcuff him the entire game. He actually go out there and let the man throw the ball. Like, I don't listen, unless the Bengals just felt like they was out of it and they wanted to tank to get a good pick, I don't understand why they wouldn't allow Jake Browning to go out there and actually sling the rock around. What the fuck do you got to lose at the end of the day? And people could say, oh, it's a lost season, but people still play and have years shaved off of their career with each season that passes by. So while the team overall might not be a Super Bowl contending team this year, these players individually don't look at this as a wasted year in the sense of production wise. They still want to produce because they still trying to get paid. They still don't know how long they can play this game. So you got to think about this as an individual thing, which is why I always think that, listen, for a bad team, sometimes you got those bad teams that's bad by circumstance, and they still have these good games. Unless you run into them teams like Washington, who don't look like they just done quit, period. It's disgusting, bro. I swear to you. But anyways, I wasn't shocked by the fact that the Bengals played. I was more shocked that Zach Taylor allowed Jake Browning to go out there and actually use the weapons that he had. Seeing as how you have 3 top tier receivers, a great running, and shout out to Joe Mixon. Great game by him. Great game by, you know what I find interesting about Cincinnati? Not even interesting. I like it. Every single time Cincinnati had these big games where they like have to make some type of comeback or they have to make some type of like close win, or they even did it against the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs last year. They just didn't win that game. All 3 of those receivers have moments in the game where they make big plays. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins all had big moments in that Kansas City Chief game last year. They all had big moments in this game. It is just so hard, to go out there and prepare. The only reason I said hard like that is because something was in my throat, It's so hard to go out there and prepare for Jamar, Tyler, and T. They catch with their hands. They extend their arms out and make hands catches. They make all type of weird ass catches because they have great hands. They run their routes great. They are great at separation. They great at going up and high pointing footballs. Like, it is just so, that's why you don't need a top tier tight end. Because you got that type of talent. That's why Joe Burrow don't have to go out there and play outside of himself. Because when they clicking on all cylinders, right now, I don't know if it's an offensive. Because if Mike McDaniel was the head coach of this team probably averaged about 40 fucking points a game. I think Mike would get more points out of. But you know what? Maybe Mike's, the way he run his, I don't know, because the way he run his offense right now, he take advantage of the speed that he got. But I feel like he would take advantage of the 3 receivers and the running back that he have over here in Cincinnati if he were the head coach of this team. So to me, every time I watch the Bengals, I kind of feel like they leave points out there on the field because Zach Taylor is not the greatest head coach / offensive play caller for this team. I feel like they could be better. And the day that they actually go out and get a more competent offensive play caller / head coach, that's the day I will really have a legitimate fear outside of just the players showing up and having a great game. Because right now, I don't think the Bengals rely on a system or anything like that. They rely on Joe Burrow and these receivers going out there and balling out. Trey Hendricks, Logan Wilson, and those dudes having great games. They don't rely, well, on the defensive side of the ball, Leroy Anarumo is phenomenal. On the offensive side of the ball, they just rely on the players going out there and doing, playing outside themselves, having great games because these are top tier players. I don't think the system really helped them out at all. I mean, a lot of these dudes have great run after the catch. Is that got anything to do with the system or is that talent? So I don't know. However, Jacksonville allowing a team to go up and down the field on them like this with a Jake Browning, it don't shock me. I told you, I don't really know I haven't looked at Jacksonville's defensive ratings yet. I've watched the defense. I just don't know what the defensive ratings are. I told you a couple weeks ago, Jacksonville's defense is all right. I don't look at it as a top echelon defense. And that's not really nothing. The teams that Jacksonville get to play twice a year is my problem. You're not getting a complete offensive exhibit from the Titans. You're not getting much of anything from the Colts. Or it's questionable what you're going to get on a weekly basis from the Colts. And I understand that the Texans are a better team this year. And their offense done been better. The past couple years, you haven't known what you was getting. No, you knew you wasn't getting much from the Texans. So their defense don't, and I know these grown men, they still get paid to play and all that. But that's not the type of offensive. Those type of offenses do not test the defense, in my opinion. Not the way a Lamar Jackson led offense when he healthy. Pat Mahomes led offense when he healthy. A Joe Burrow in that Cincinnati offense. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and Dalton Kincaid, or not Kincaid, Dawson Knox when they clicking. Those type of offenses, the Cowboys offense, Miami offense, those type of offenses is not what the Jags have had to play against for the majority of the season. And when they lost to the 49ers, that showed me that defense not being tested on a regular basis is a problem. Which is why I haven't put them in the category of a Ravens, the Chiefs, 49ers, the Eagles, the Cowboys. Those teams actually have to be tested. Now, regardless if them teams, some of them teams like the Cowboys have won against a high-rated team or not, I'm not here to discuss that right now. But what I'm telling you is, to me, the Jags are closer to the Lions, the Seahawks. That's why I did not think that defense was as great as people. Now, can they go out there and put together a great game? Absolutely. But what I'm telling you is, I think the top echelon quarterbacks could still pick apart that Jaguars defense. Josh Allen is a great player. I could do it, but could you really name too many other players on that defense? They got a lot of young players. Obviously, they got some of the dudes returning in the secondary they brought last year. I don't think that they have anybody special in any 3 level. Well, let me take that back. They got Josh Allen and he is special. However, when you look at they 3 levels, the secondary, the linebackers, the defensive line, none of those units are to me special enough to make this defense special. To me, it's more likely that you'll see an offense that know what they're doing do what the Bengals just did to them than you will see an offense struggle against them because they aren't special on any three levels. They just have to pitch a perfect game on all three levels to me to beat one of those top tier quarterbacks. Meaning you got to get at least a turnover. You got to get a hold of quarterback in this offense below their averages. Your offense got to go all off. You got to get some type of sacks and pressures at the right moments. And when you don't really have a special unit, I don't think they got a special secondary. I don't think the linebacking core is special. I don't think the defensive line core is special. So, and I understand if they got great stats in any of those levels, I get it. But like I said, they're going to play 6 games this year against questionable offenses. 4 of them games for sure was against questionable offenses. So while I'm not here to, I don't want to make it sound like I'm shitting on the Jags. I'm just saying the level of competition, it does matter at the end of the day. And I use level of and not to when I know when certain fan bases listen to me talk about their fan base, they might not listen to me talk about any other fan base. Bro, my criteria and the way I talk about this stuff do not change based off of who I'm talking about. I am consistent when I talk about this. So I really don't. I'm going to always throw out that caveat of I'm not trying to kill a team or something like that. But I talk about all teams like this. Like, I am honest. It's like when this dude in the comment section was like, why you had to bring up race when we was talking about Justin Herbert. I'm like, bruh, if I'm going to break down the whole topic, the entire truth of the topic, how do you not get mad when I talk about the other stuff, but now you mad when I talk about that? If I'm breaking down the entire situation from all the viewpoints, how can you not bring in race when that is so very clear an issue in this situation? Like, I just don't understand that. So either way, I guess what I'm saying right there is you're going to always piss somebody off. So there's no purpose in me always saying, yeah, I'm not trying to kill the team. Because at the end of the day, somebody think you're going to be trying to kill the team either way. But it's just the perspective of which I'm looking at the Jags defense and this team from. Also, the offense. I like Trevor Lawrence, and I don't really like some of the gadget plays, but I don't like that from a lot of teams that try to run so many gadget plays. Because I don't want to get into it, but my problem with this Jags offense this year, obviously Travis Etienne has not been the same player that he was last year. I think that got something to do with him with injuries or something like that. But it just feel like something is missing from this offense. And you want to know what one of the biggest problems is? And it could be fixed now because of CJ Stroud. And it could be fixed with Anthony Richardson. They don't play against top tier quarterbacks enough inside the most games they play is inside their division. They don't play against enough top tier talent for me to trust what the offense do on a weekly basis, just based off of what I'm seeing. I do not think that the Jacksonville, and I'm not telling you that Trevor Lawrence and his team couldn't go in and beat one of those top tier quarterbacks. But what I'm saying is what I see from the Jacksonville offense, it just feel like something missing. Like if I had to pick them against the Dolphins, I'm taking the Dolphins. If I had to pick them against the Ravens, I'm taking the Ravens. Them against the Chiefs, I don't even like the Chiefs receivers. I'm taking the Chiefs. Right now, it just feel like something is missing from this offense. And that's probably why I feel like they are what the Lions are and what Seattle is. Now, I haven't watched the Jags as much as I done watched the Lions and as much as I done watched Seattle because I knew exactly why those two teams was what I had far better breakdowns on my thoughts for those two teams and why I felt the way I feel. As crazy as it sounds, I'm actually about to use these next couple weeks to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars offense. I understand what I'm seeing from the run game. I understand the lack of production they're getting out of the run game. And Trevor Lawrence did get hurt in this game because his offensive lineman got pushed into him. And he hurt his ankle. So he got a high ankle sprain. But I'm going to have to go back and watch some games from this team. And I'm going to have, because I done watched a couple games from them this season, but I have not watched nearly enough to form an opinion as to why I feel the way this offense, to tell you why I feel the way I feel about this offense. Because it is 100% something missing from this offense, but I cannot put my finger on what it is yet. I couldn't tell you if it's a player, a play call, the way they do something, the penalties, I don't know what it is quite yet that's making me feel the way I feel about this offense. I know I feel the way I feel about the team, but just specifically this offense, because I could tell you why I feel the way about the defense, but I cannot really, because even in the games I didn't watch them, they look basically like this, but I haven't watched them enough. Offense is a tricky thing, bro. It just is what it is. I don't watch them enough to understand the defensive side of the ball. I just have not picked up enough games to break down why I feel the way I feel about this offense. So I'm really going to have to get back to you on this. But don't worry. It won't take me too long because I'm finna watch a lot of Jaguars games coming up. And I'm finna go back and find time to watch some of the previous Jags games because I do understand that Trevor Lawrence is going to be compromised right now. Now, if I can't find the time to do none of that, it's just going to have to be an incomplete thing that I have to pick up on week by week. But hopefully I find the time to be able to do that. Bad loss by the Jags. I understand Trevor went down at the end of this game, but bro, for one, Cincinnati tried to give you the game at the end. But the offense, bro, not being able, and I understand it was going back and forth with the Cincinnati offense, that's on the defense, but it is just plays that I feel get left out there on the field, and I cannot really tell. Trevor Lawrence do get kind of erratic at times as far as his accuracy and whatnot, but man, it ain't. And for some reason, I just still feel like the best version of this team right now is not them being a pass first team. But everything will scream to you, yeah, this need to be a pass first team. And I understand that, but I don't know what it is, man. I really don't know what it is. And I'm not the biggest fan of the offensive scheme. And I know Doug Peterson is a G, but I'm just not a huge fan of the things they running down there right now. But it could just be me. Speaking on Aaron Rodgers, who had a lot to say recently on the Pat McAfee show, was not happy at reporters and how they talk about Zach Wilson and whatnot. Now listen, bro, I done been accused of being an Aaron Rodgers supporter, and people who always call me Aaron Rodgers supporters clearly don't listen to the show. Because while I have supported Aaron Rodgers on a lot of the things he done said, I was very fair about the Green Bay Packers. Not to mention, if you watch the show, you already know, bro, I am based. So obviously my number one team is the Ravens. That's my squad. I got them tattooed on me. But bro, I am a Rams fan also now since Aaron Donald and since they moved to LA. And I'm a Green Bay Packers fan now, bro. I had to hop on the bandwagon as soon as Jordan Love became the starter, bro. As soon as they announced he was going to be the starter, I was like, yeah, I'm a Packer fan base. Because I've been covering them every year I done been on the channel. Very, like, they one of the teams that get talked about the most on the channel. You got the Ravens, the Packers, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Browns, the Chiefs, the Bills. A lot of AFC teams get a lot of coverage on the channel, aside from the Raiders, the Texans, the Colts. Now I know some people are like, well, why the fuck would he be covering the Cleveland Browns that much and not them other teams? Well, my friends, I would like to not have to cover the Steelers or the Browns. They just happen to be in a division that my favorite team play in. I got no problem having to watch so many Cincinnati games and talk about them. That's a great team. I love watching that offense. I hate having to watch watching Cleveland and the Steelers. Specifically the Steelers. The Steelers offense, bro, has been so bad over the last couple years. I've been telling people how bad this offense was, and I've been saying I don't necessarily know if it's just Matt Canada, bruh. These players just ain't producing. At some point in time, Najee Harris not that great to me, but the offensive line don't do shit to help him out either. The receivers is great or good. The quarterback ain't. The scheme ain't. Like, collectively, they just average or below average, to be honest with you. You think I like sitting around watching that shit? Let me tell you something. I don't enjoy it at all. All right. But I agree with Aaron Rodgers. when he talked about Zach Wilson, man. I don't understand this thing where people like to assassinate people's character. I really don't. And I don't go at I go at the media all the time. So, you know, I rock with Aaron Rodgers when he taking shots at the media. But specifically, this is, I don't understand, what do you gain from that report? Now people gonna hate Zach Wilson even more. I mean, it's really insane, bro. You forget how young these dudes is. You forget that Zach Wilson ain't never had a chance to be a child and mature the way regular people do, because he done always been thrusted in the spotlight because of the position he play in the team he got drafted to. And I understand Zach Wilson not being good enough. I understand his talent not being good enough. But at the end of the day, people forget that this is still a young man who's all his mental and emotions probably haven't even developed fully yet. Just because he make a lot of money don't mean that people should be able to attack this kid the way that they do. And it feel like every single opportunity people get to attack this kid, they do it. And I don't get it. I really don't. What do y'all gain from doing this? Like, Zach Wilson must have pissed somebody off, bro. He must have slept with somebody in the industry's mom, bro. That's what it's got to be, because I don't get it. I don't get it. I really do wish they would give this kid a break. If he bad, okay, let him be bad, bro. Golly. Mind you, y'all owe Rob Saleh an apology. He kept telling y'all Zach Wilson gave him the best chance to win. And after a couple of these projects the last couple weeks, he was right. If anybody should be blamed for this season, and I understand the Aaron Rodgers thing threw everything off, but this is what I would say. Aaron Rodgers got hurt the very first quarter, the first drive of the season, first game of the season for the Jets. Meaning up to now, or up to that trade deadline, they had from the very first game of the season, or at the end of that, really at the point he got hurt, to start getting on the phone, making calls to try to bring in a quarterback, trade for one, or sign one. They chose not to do that, knowing how bad they thought Zach Wilson was. So whose fault is that really? That's bad management by the Jets. But I'm not surprised. This the same team that instead of going all out for Lamar Jackson, went all out for Aaron Rodgers. And I understand the greatness of Aaron Rodgers, but the man is 40-something years old. And while I'm not happy that he got hurt, I said, the likelihood that the way y'all talk about Lamar being injury prone, it is far more likely that Aaron Rodgers get hurt at some point in time in the next couple years than it is Lamar Jackson. So I don't understand why that is something to be what we don't talk about, because this man is going to be 40, bro. Like, come on now. I can make an argument Lamar didn't play the rest of the season last year because of the contract. Aside from that, Joe Burrow done missed more games than Lamar Jackson now at this point. We're not saying it would be a better investment to take out Aaron Rodgers right now over Joe Burrow, even after these injuries from Joe Burrow. So to me, the Jets, you make these type of, dickhead type decisions, bro. You got to live with them, man. At the end of the day, I understand that the Aaron Rodgers thing threw everything off. However, you still had enough time to go out. Joe Flacco, the Browns feel like Flacco get him the opportunity. Josh Dobbs done been a competent backup to this point. And with the way your defense was playing, if you had got any type of quarterback out there that could instill some type of faith in these guys on offense, maybe you would have had a chance. Now, I do understand the Jets' offensive line is god-awful. I mean, Jesus Christ. That is a bad offensive line. But nonetheless, I want to talk about Brock Purdy. So I was at on Twitter the other day. And, I told y'all the other show that I thought Brock Purdy was the MVP at this moment. And somebody who did not feel like he was the MVP started to basically break down his last two games and all the success. And they basically broke down every single touchdown and showed that it really wasn't Brock Purdy, it's the talent around him and the system. And I was flabbergasted, not by what he was showing, just based on, I was flabbergasted at how much homework he did on this subject. Like his points, his stats that he used, They was stats that back up exactly. They was stats that I would use if I wanted to use stats and stuff to prove points. That's the type of stats he was using. Meaningful ones. Shits that are not insignificant ones. And it did make me change my thoughts on MVP. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really know what award I would give Brock Purdy right now. But when I thought about it, yeah, my MVP ranking pretty much mirror what I think he said his first two was. I do have Lamar Jackson as, and now people gonna think I'm biased because I'm a Raven fan, but I'm explaining in a second. For me right now, I think I have Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, and the next one is very confusing to me because. So it don't even matter about them next two yet. Let me just get into why I reshuffled my MVP list. Because before I changed my opinion, it was Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. However, the reason I changed it is because a couple things was brought to my attention. And I don't know why I don't know if I didn't factor him in. I guess I just didn't really think about him that much. I still don't agree with this big fuss being made about, Jimmy Garoppolo did this. But I do have to acknowledge they did get to a Super Bowl and damn near got to another one with Jimmy Garoppolo. I do acknowledge that. I'm not just brushing that under the rug. The thing that got me, and Brock Purdy lead in a lot of good categories as far as stats, but that's the problem. Buddy said, if you keep looking at the stats, then you gonna keep, and I was like, if you watch the show, I'm not even a stat person. I don't like people who watch stats because that just tell me you don't watch the games. But I do now realize even people who don't watch stats can fall to this stat argument sometimes. Because the argument that this dude was making to me was, for one, what do you think Patrick Mahomes, he was like, Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson's numbers is down. He said, what you think their numbers would be with a healthy supporting cast if you swap them out with Brock Purdy? And I don't like playing that game. But he said, just think about it. If you put Lamar Jackson on the 49ers right now, do you think they would look any less impressive than they look right now? And clearly that's a no. They'd probably be undefeated with Lamar and Pat Mahomes. He said, now, do you think that the Chiefs or the Ravens would be undefeated right now with Brock Purdy? Or doing what these two teams is doing without it? I said, fuck no, clearly not. He said, so why would Brock Purdy be the MVP if that's the case? He was like, clearly Lamar and Pat mean more to their teams, because clearly what I was saying was, and I didn't even realize it, was the 49ers a better team. As an all-around team, they better than the Chiefs and the Ravens. Because if they weren't, then why would I think that Brock Purdy wouldn't do as good on those other two teams? Because clearly I think that the better team of supporting cast is the 49ers. Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes, if I took them off of their teams, or not even just took them off, swapped them with Brock Purdy, I do not believe the teams would be doing the same thing. I do believe they would have more success with the 49ers than they do with their two teams because there's more talent on the 49ers than either of these two teams have offensively at their disposal. So for me right now, MVP is between Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes, because the meaning of MVP is the most valuable player of the team. If I take him off the team, would we still have anywhere near this same success? And I just don't think that I do think the 49ers could still find this type of success, rather than I do not believe the Ravens and the Chiefs will have the type of success that they having right now if you took Lamar and Pat Mahomes off of those two teams. Also, the Dallas Cowboys argument when it comes to Dak Prescott. I kind of have. It's hard for me to put Dak over Brock because Brock done beat him. And Dak got a hell of a talented team. And to me, the Cowboys' falters come from when Dak don't show up. So it's very hard for me to agree with this Dak is having a more of an MVP year than Brock. But I also agree when he said Dak, the Cowboys is not as good as they are right now if they don't have Dak Prescott. And if you put Brock Purdy in, there's no way they put up this many points. And I'm still debating it in my head, but right now I guess I'm leaning more towards that also, bro. I don't really know, bro. I don't like it, man. Because I like Brock Purdy. And I don't want people to think I'm shitting on Brock Purdy. There I go. I done been accused at work of being like a biased Brock Purdy fan. So I rock with Brock, obviously, bro. But I'm going to watch real closely the next couple games to Brock. Because if I see what I feel like I've been seeing, he might not be my MVP. But let me tell you something, man. I still don't see a quarterback that's just only hanging on because of the system. I don't see that. I don't see a Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson type of quarterback either. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. But he could, I don't know if he could get to those levels, though. We take for granted how great those players are. But he could get right up to that. Like, you know who was a great player who we don't, Andrew Luck, bro. That motherfucker was great. Like, man, bro, we forget how great that motherfucker was. Probably because he retired so early, and he retired like the last game of the preseason. That was crazy. They really must have pissed Andrew off for him to come to a conclusion that late, bro. Oh, man, that was tough. I know they was mad as hell over there in Indy. Word on the street is Frank Wright trying to fight Andrew Luck to this day. It's crazy out here. Have y'all been watching that in-season tournament in the NBA? I haven't. Anyways, Thursday night football. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New England Patriots. Now, I just want to go on a limb right now and say 20 points or less is going to be combined scored in this game. I'm putting that out there right now. 20 points or less. I do not think this will be a high-scoring game. And shout out to Bill and his defense, bro. Them boys done gave up 10 points or less in the last 3 games, lost all them bitches. That's tough. But that's on Bill. You hired this offensive coordinator. You the one who didn't bring over the talent for Mac Jones. You the one who fucked up Mac's development and let him get to where he at now. And the backups is trash too, so not shocked. But listen to me. While the Steelers some people might feel like, well, you know, you can't be no worse than the Patriots offense. The Steelers can figure out a way to be. And so I'm taking the Patriots in this game. Not even because I think the Patriots going to win, because I want the Patriots to win. So I'm trying to speak it into existence. Because this reminds me of when people were saying on Twitter, if you're a Raven fan, you should be going for the Jags. You can't go for Cincinnati. Or some of them was like, man, I feel bad because I think I need to go for Cincinnati. Bro, fuck all that. Going into that game, before the game even happened, when I knew they was playing, I said, need Cincinnati to win this game. Bro, we swept Cincinnati. Nothing Cincinnati can do can hurt us right now. They literally can only help us. If they beat any of the teams that's in playoff contention, that helps us. I was rooting for Cincinnati. All the way. No question about it. Needed Cincinnati to get that big dub because I needed the Jacksonville Jaguars to lose. Now, very interested to see how long Trevor Lawrence will be out after this high ankle sprain. If he out too long, that really could hurt the Jags because they are in a close battle right now with the Colts and with the Texans. And off the top of my head, I don't know what their season record is against the Colts yet, but I know they 1-1 against the Texans. So if you drop some of these next couple games and the Texans pick up and get more wins than you on the season, oh boy. Now, I just want to point out last year when Lamar Jackson went down, people were saying, oh, you know, Lamar Jackson injury prone. Now, these quarterbacks going down in this. Oh, man, we feel so bad the NFL got an injury problem. Man, fuck y'all. Really nothing the NFL can do to protect the quarterbacks anymore. You just got to understand at some point in time, you play football, you're going to get hurt. I don't know why that's the hardest concept for people to understand. Especially fans. Bro, if you play football, you will get hurt. That is not mutually exclusive to the quarterback. Like, I don't even think I said it right. That is not something that's mutually exclusive to everybody outside the quarterback, bro. The quarterbacks play. They will get hurt eventually. That is how this game goes. I don't understand why. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Oh yeah, I did that. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love them. Listen, it's the season of love, bro. Go out there and love somebody, man. All right? I fuck with y'all and I love y'all, man. Y'all need to go out there and tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them and look in the mirror and tell yourself that too. I appreciate all the support. I truly do. Like, subscribe, share. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.